Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Court orders security operatives to fish out killers of aid to Nnamdi Kanus lawyer. Court orders security operatives to fish out killers of aid to Nnamdi Kanus lawyer. To my dear listeners, from wherever you listen from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. A federal high court has ordered the Nigerian police force and the Department of State Services (DSS) to fish out the killers of late Samuel Okoro, who was personal assistant to Ifeanyi Ejiofor, counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Besides, they are to pay the sum of 100 million naira to Mrs. Felicia Samuel Okoro as general damages for the gruesome murder of her husband, Okoro, who was brutally killed and burnt to ashes during the invasion of the lawyer's home by security agencies. Equally affected by the court order is the Nigerian Army and Nwachukwu. Following the bloody invasion of the ancestral home of Ifeanyi Ejiofor in Umunnankwo Alifite, or Ifite, Ekwesigo local government area, Anambra State, on June 6, 2021, at the wee hours of the night, by a joint security team comprising operatives of the Nigerian police, the DSS and soldiers. His personal assistant, Mr. Samuel Okoro, was killed inside his compound and consequently set ablaze in a Toyota Camry car. In a fundamental human rights enforcement suit marked FHC LWKCS 57-2021, Okoro's wife, Felicia, prayed the court to hold that the extrajudicial killing of her husband by the defendant, the Nigerian Police Force, Inspector General of Police, State Security Service Director General of State Security Service, Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Army, the Chief of Army Staff and Chukwuka Chizorum Ofoedu, aka Jele Speaks, is illegal, oppressive, unlawful, inhumane, and a breach of his fundamental human right. After considering the issues canvassed and submitted before him, Justice H.A. Nwangjiwa of the Oka Division of the court entered judgment in favor of the applicant. Justice Nwangjiwa declared that the extrajudicial killing and setting ablaze of the body of late Mr. Samuel Okoro, the applicant's husband, by the agent of the Nigerian Police Force, the DSS, the Nigerian Army, and Nwachukwu Chizorum Ofoedu, aka Jele Speaks, is illegal, unlawful, oppressive, inhumane, and constitutes a breach of the late Samuel Okoro's fundamental rights to life, dignity of human person, and fair hearing, guaranteed by the 1999 Constitution as amended, and African Charter on Human and People's Rights Ratification in Enforcement Act Cap to Laws of Federation 1999. He further directed the Nigerian Police, the State Security Service (SSS), the Nigerian Army, and Chukwuka Chizorum aka Jele Speaks, jointly and severally to tender unreserved public apology to Mrs. Felicia Okoro in one national and domestic dailies. In addition, the court further awarded against the Nigerian Police Force, the DSS, the Nigerian Army, and Chukwu Kachizoro Mofuedu jointly and severally the sum of 10 million naira as compensation in favor of Mrs. Felicia Okoro, the applicant, against the Nigerian Police, the DSS, the Nigerian Army, and Chukwu Kachizoro Mofuedu jointly and severally for the violation of the fundamental right of the applicant's husband, late Mr. Samuel Okoro. The court further noted that no amount can compensate for the life of the deceased and the void created in the life of his family and loved ones. The court also awarded against the Nigerian Police Force, the DSS, the Nigerian Army, and Chukwu Kachizoro Mofuedu jointly and severally in Mrs. Felicia Okoro's favor the sum of 5 million naira as cost for prosecuting the suit. In further condemning the dastardly act of this security agent, Justice Wang Jiwa further directed the Inspector General of Police, the Chief of Army Staff, and the Director General of the SSS to immediately identify the officers who participated in carrying out the dastardly act and bring them to book accordingly. Before I conclude, I wish to state that after watching the CCTV footage, exhibitor, I ran out of words to express my feelings to what I saw. I couldn't believe what I saw was carried out by human beings like us and the applicant. It was unfortunate and unbelievable. They didn't only take the laws into their hands, but behaved as if they are God who created life, including Mr. Samuel Okoro, the late husband of the applicant. Now we've come to the end of our today's news.